In 1285, the Mongol Empire, the most formidable military power the world had ever seen, returned to Jiviat. This time, they didn't come as raiders looking for plunder. They came as conquerors. Their goal was nothing less than total domination, to erase Jiviat from the map and absorb it into their vast empire. Under the command of Kublai Khan's son, Prince Toghon, a massive army, battle-hardened and confident, crossed the border, expecting a swift and brutal victory. The fate of a nation hung in the balance. The Mongol strategy was a classic pincer movement, designed to crush any resistance between two powerful jaws. From the north, Prince Toghon led the main host, a seemingly unstoppable tide of cavalry and infantry, pouring into the Red River Delta. Simultaneously, from the south, the veteran general Toghon, also known as Saga II, advanced by sea, his fleet sailing up the rivers to strike at the heart of the kingdom. It was a terrifying two-pronged invasion that threatened to overwhelm Jiviat's defenses. The kingdom stood on the very brink of collapse, caught between two immense armies, each one a death sentence on its own. Faced with this overwhelming force, the Trần Dynasty made a painful but brilliant strategic decision. Once again, they chose retreat over annihilation. The capital, Thänglong, a prize the Mongols desperately wanted, was abandoned and set ablaze. The royal court, led by the elderly Emperor Trần Tang and the reigning Emperor Trần Tang, withdrew south. This was not an act of cowardice or defeat. It was a calculated move, a strategic withdrawal designed to stretch the enemy's supply lines, draw them deeper into unfamiliar territory, and buy precious time. As the Mongols marched into an empty, burning capital, the real war was just beginning. Deep in the sweltering wetlands of the Red River Delta, at a strategic location called HMT, General Trần Quốc Tuấn prepared to unleash his counterstroke. The southern Mongol army under Toghon was overextended. Their supply lines were thin, and they were far from their northern counterparts. Seeing his chance, Trần Quốc Tuấn gathered his forces, bolstered by loyal ethnic minorities and even allies from Champa. Then, without warning, they struck. It was a perfectly timed, audacious surprise attack. The quiet riverbanks erupted into a storm of steel and fire as Jiviat's forces slammed into the unsuspecting Mongol flank. The Mongol troops, caught completely off guard, were thrown into chaos. Their disciplined formations, so effective on open plains, collapsed in the confusing terrain of the river delta. The Jiviat soldiers, fighting on home ground, pressed their advantage with ferocious intensity. What was supposed to be an easy campaign for Toghon's southern army turned into a slaughter. The river ran red as the Mongol force was overwhelmed, shattered, and routed. HMT wasn't just a battle. It was a devastating and decisive defeat for the invaders. The victory at HMT was far more than just a single successful engagement. It was the turning point of the entire war. For the first time during the second invasion, the aura of Mongol invincibility was broken. The victory sent a shockwave through both armies. For Jiviat, it was a massive morale booster, proving that the invaders could be beaten. For the Mongols, it was a strategic catastrophe. The southern pincer was broken. Their grand plan was in ruins, and Prince Toghon's northern army was now isolated and exposed. The momentum had shifted. The invaders were no longer the hunters. They were now on the defensive. HMT was the key that unlocked the door to total victory. It ignited a chain reaction of successful counteroffensives. Inspired by this triumph, the Jiviat armies went on to win crucial battles at Cheongdijang and T-Kenti, driving the northern Mongol army back in disarray. The invasion that had begun with such overwhelming force in 1285 was doomed to fail. And at the heart of this incredible turnaround was General Trần Quốc Tuấn, who had masterminded the strategy, proven himself not just a national hero, but one of the greatest military commanders in world history. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more stories of history's greatest battles.